Hello, people of YouTube. It's Brittany, and her God is energy here on the tube and elsewhere. I it's funny. I hadn't tossed yet, but I was sitting here already primed with what I was going to be discussing. The first thing is that I think that uh, a lot of people have have heard an older person, um, excuse me, say something along the line of like, "My God wouldn't da 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 da," or "My God loves me. My God wouldn't approve of such and such." My God loves da 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 da. Something. Um, and one can very well be like, okay, like, who's yours, or what have you. But I think that there's an uh, important distinction there, because in older times, in ancient times, and I'm not saying ancient like it in a metaphorical way. I mean literally like long, long time ago. It was commonly understood that different people served different gods. Sometimes that depended on where you were coming from, like you're from a certain city or a certain place on the planet. And so it was recognized, understood that, okay, those people serve that god. And you just watch circumstances to see, like, does it look like that God is smiling upon them? Or does it look like that God has forgot about them? Or are they currently being punished? You look at how the people are doing as to how goes it. Some people have always felt that there was a God for everyone. That was just the teaching that was passed on. But it depends on what point in history. This is why I'm saying past lives are so important, because that kind of soul memory is in you, that perspective. Even though we come into this life and we were out and beyond, when we pop back up, it's like all the times that you've been here pop back up with you, along with the stuff that is bloodline specific. But like, it's easy for people, easier for people to accept sun rays. Like, oh, we're impacted by the sun. Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. You go outside, it's a warm day because the sun is shining, or a person's been in the sun for a long time and so they got a sunburn. Okay, sun affects people. Uh, you see, wind. Uh, like, Okay, there's clouds, evaporation. Okay, all right. There's sun effects, moon effects. Okay, the tide goes in and out. That's the entire ocean moving around. Okay, women. Okay, these women seem to. Some of these women seem to be synced up with the moon. All right, all right. People that work in an ER, they notice. Okay, it seems like stuff seems to happen around the full moon. It got a packed house around that time. It's mysterious. It's not that everyone goes crazy at the full moon. It could be any manner of incident. Um, but anyway, accepting that, uh, we could go further and talk about all these planets. Astrologers have no problem with that. Like, oh yeah, we're affected by all these planets. So if we're affected by the planets, and counting a couple asteroids, hmm, could there be other things in the known universe or unknown universe that are affecting humanity? Could it be? Yes. Good God. Yes. So, in terms of God, as people conceptualize God force, I think that the the disclosure discussion, like it's really riling some folks. Some folks say pray harder. My point, and numerous folks' point is yes, pray, yes, pray, yeah, do yes, lots of talking. But now is the time to deal with who you're talking to. And it's not just deal with or suffer through. Know that the God that responds to you loves you, has care for you, has listened to you. And if it's the same God as your family line has has been dedicated to, look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Now, um, a contrasting thing is that some people have difficulty with the reality of that. That's why there's some argument, because they're saying these aren't gods, they're aliens. I'm saying kick rocks. That's rude. That's rude. Been around longer than you. That's rude. Alien implies foreign. Not foreign. You're foreign. You're the newest one here. The god's been around. So rude. And also, these modern humanity, like modern humans, not wanting to respect authority. I'm just like the God position was not just a name. It's like give your ancestors more credit, give your bloodline more credit. They didn't just bow to whoever had a crown on. It's like they didn't need a crown on their head. They weren't sitting on a throne all day just being fed grapes. They were referred to as gods because of the mysterious stuff they could do that was far beyond what humanity could do. And so I'm saying that still stands. The gods were gods long time ago because they were far advanced. So with all the time that has passed since the ancestors been talking, what do you think they can do now? It's still far past humanity. But isn't that nice that the goal has always been to boost humanity, to get humanity doing better? And has there always been some that want humanity to do better and some that say, F them, just use them as slaves, kill them off, kick them around, take advantage? Yes, there's always been some ruckus, and that's why the question of who do you serve has always floated around. It's been a who do you serve because it's been like, well, how's it working for you? And then people laugh at you if it doesn't look like you're doing too well. Like, ha ha, it looks like God doesn't love you very much because look at you suffering. Looks like I'm on the winning team. Ha ha. And so it's like, um, there's there's appearances and there's times for things. There's seasons. That's why we have been given the gift of astrology, given the gift of tarot, given different things so that we can tell time. It's beyond the clock. We are figuring out how to tell where we're at in the course of things. And that's not just seasons for the planet or seasons for our location, but also seasons for life. And so this is why I like for some that may press me, just like make an oracle real fast, make it real fast. Like this is a major undertaking, and for people that just crank out oracles like nothing, I say shame on you. Make sure like you care. Oracles should be made by people that use oracles, that utilize the oracle. Um, because they have an idea of what is needed, what kind of range needs to be in there. I have unfortunately seen, and I'm just, this is shade. I'm going to go ahead and throw the shade right now. Of the brown people oracles, especially brown people love oracles, I see a lot of bad news. It's just like it's an oracle deck of, I don't know, a million cards. And it's full of like baby mama drama. There's domestic violence. There's cheating. There's tax evasion. Like, uh, freaking, uh, this guy is terrible. This woman is terrible. Stay away. Bad, bad, bad. And then like 3 cards that say the sex will be fantastic, marriage, and happiness. just I'm just like, this is so ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so, is it any wonder why some of us will move right over to the Caucasian oracles where most of it is good news. It'll be like lots of money, business is booming, like the children are happy, uh, kisses, hugs, sexing. See how this is broken up into separate cards? Why? Because it's all good news. It's not just a general thing to just be all encompassed. So this is how it gets spread out into um, many cards. Because then if you also got like happy pets, and if you got happy pets, and then you have kisses in the deck, and then you have happy family card, and you pulled all these cards at the same time, then you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, confirmation, because just this morning my dog kissed me on the nose. Ain't that cute? So, um, I have been like, there's no way that I'm cranking out an oracle for the public while I'm in a state of mind. I'm still in a state of mind of looking out at the world and seeing a whole lot of negativity that I can define and positivity in general terms. I don't have individualized terms for a happy life. It's very general. And negativity, I can go into specifics quickly. And it's like, what can be blamed for that? It's like different people are coming from all sorts of walks of life. And some people would say, oh, the news. Oh, it depends on what news you're watching. So it's a mild life. Um, all the stuff consumed is one thing. But I'll say a very, I know you guys heard me shuffling over here, so I'm going to go ahead and put it down. Uh, a very Piscean energy is, they say dreamers or being idealistic, as in like a mystical kind of point of view. I'm going to argue because Pisces is the 12th house and Aquarius is the 11th. Um, I'm going to argue that Pisces is not making stuff up for uh, just of the imagination. I'm going to say that bringing it down and bringing things through emotions and from the higher realms, bringing things down and through. Just like Aquarius is like a very 11th house energy, it's not necessarily like uh, that we're coming up with stuff out of thin air. If people really think about it, it's just like, oh, we are solving complaints that have existed for a while. We're putting together ideas that might have already existed, but in a different format. So if you put the things together, like, oh, what would it be like to have a measuring cup on a stick? I don't know what the purpose would serve, but I'm just saying, uh, we we think of stuff like that. I think that Pisces dreaming and problem solving has much to do with solving emotional issues more than quote unquote logical. That's what some people might think it's a waste of time as someone is working on being a filmmaker. Like, what point does it serve? You're sitting here trying to make whole movies of leaves blowing in the wind. What is the point of this? Well, they're trying to convey a feeling or an idea which is going to solve a problem of a person or some people, or maybe many people, wondering what's the point of anything, or is there a message in anything? How do things fit together? They're answering emotional questions, emotional conundrums. So, my my Piscean moon is very much uh, very much aware of some problem solving that's occurring as it looks like it's not. your moon sign your moon sign is uh, generally hidden from the public. I've read that a lot. I've heard it from a number of people. So I'm gonna believe it. I'm gonna go ahead and take that this is not necessarily visible to the general public. So what does this mean especially to me? Yeah, that your rising sign and your sun sign is more visible in your personality than your moon. This says to me that generally speaking, although I may come across as a, a kind person, that how I feel, what I feel, how deeply I feel might not necessarily be visible to the general public. I might come through more judgy, seem like I don't give a crap by and by. Sometimes it seems like I don't give a crap about what I do or who I do. Meanwhile, because here is a judgment. Like here I go with a judgment. Uh, that although Pisces is the 12th house, it would appear y'all are the most hardcore, write a person off people ever. Like, one, two, three, Pisces is done with you. And I'm like, how could this be so? I read the books. I do the study. I'm just like, how can this be? Pisces don't get along with me. Like, how could this be? And again, I think that it's because maybe like my feels don't always show, or that it doesn't necessarily seem accurate. What you see may not be what you get, or it might be interpreted differently than what the reality is. And if I pour my feels out and I am rejected, or I am criticized deeply, or I just get a ruthless response as I pour my feels out, the next batch of feels might be cold or might be hot and mean. And you think those are new feels, but those are responding feels. It's not new. It's not like it's a new day, clean slate. No, it's not a new day. The previous days are continuing. This is a response. And the response goes all the way back to the infraction that has caused it. But because I'm such a deep feeler, either it was a majorly deep hurt or it's a stack that I'm responding to. And how long does that last? It's either, um, it can seem indefinite. It might be for the entirety of this lifetime. It's going to be the it's going to be the rest of the duration that I am who I am. Uh, or it could just seem like a really damn long time because it's deep. It's deep. You think Scorpio is vindictive? You think Scorpio stays mad? Scorpio is only mad until the retribution is done. Pisces is done with you, but in a different way because they're not actually done. Like the vendetta is still there. The vendetta does not end because you're still you and they're still them. And what happened is for the Pisces to be horrified. It has to be it has to be beyond belief, or there's a realization, a batch of intel that comes in that once you know, you can't unknow. So back to my commentary about disclosure, where some people are just like, wow, okay, so waiting for more intel to be released from the government. Like, so we're just gonna forget about the folks that have been killed, and all the time that we've been lied to and all that, and now we're just ready to hear what it is that the government wants to spill, because certainly everything that they put out there is all they've got. That's certainly what's happening. And also, you know what? Those days of killing folks, that's over. That's in the past. Or that was a mistake. They're very sorry. Like, what? What are you talking about? What about all the gate program kids? What about all this stuff? What about that? No, no, it's not cleared up. What about slavery that they just reminded us isn't worth a damn to U.S. history? What about that? That vote just occurred this year. Uh, the chain gangs, the like, what about that? Some stuff is really starting to make sense when you put it together, isn't it? This has been a serious global campaign against a certain demographic of folks starting to look like. So what could that mean? A certain group has been told they're godless folks around the world. What identifies you as a godless person? Hmm. What do the savages whose God must have deserted them, what do they tend to have in common? How could you identify these quote unquote godless people around the globe? Like, how could you pick them out? So, uh, but these quote unquote godless people just keep on going. They keep on proliferating, keep on finding ways to make do and make more. They still end up smiling and happy. What is it? What's going on? What is it about those people? They have strange beliefs and strange customs. Could it be that they weren't left alone? Could they be somebody? Possibly. So, I can't help but be a little frustrated that to find my own intel, I've had to go to sources that went to my intel first. But this is just the way that it's been, and I'm clearing some stuff up with that because it causes a mind boggle, some sort of conundrum, and for some folks, it's just like, no, get off of that. That's our stuff. But actually, no, it's my stuff. You have my stuff over there, and then it's like, you know what? Actually, I don't want it. You go ahead and have it. Oh, you don't. Okay. Just like, what did you? But you're still trying to inquire about what I got going on. Um. Again, collective craziness as things click into place, things make sense, truths come out. It's wild. It's definitely wild. But again, I take oracle oracle making if I was going to make one for the public, like super serious. Tarot or oracle, and I'm saying all of that super serious. And there's plenty of decks with like just words on them. The point is for the intel to come through so seamlessly that you don't really have to puzzle through it. Yeah. That's really what I'm going for. If if this is to occur in the same way that we watch movies or we listen to music and you just feel how you feel. You ever listen to music and see a whole scene play out in your mind without there being a music video? You could see it. Whether you're seeing for yourself or you see just a, a life scene. I think that a good quality tarot or oracle deck is actually like a clairvoyant tool, a magical tool, because they saw in advance what was going to need to be on each card so that it would make perfect sense for who was going to pull from it. And they did this ahead of time. I'm like, that's one of the magical things. When you pull a card and you look at it and it's like, holy heck, whoa, that's so loud. Whoa there. I love that experience. I can also tell when something is made to fit, like I'm working with it. And so it's just within the confines of what is in that oracle deck, I'm still able to be spoken to. But I have to be open to every way, every bit of way that is being presented on the card. It's like I don't really give kudos to movies where I can tell that deliberately information was mixed up. Some mix up understandable, because a person might be getting some psychic intel, but not quite sure how it fits. They also might be told by higher ups and what have you that are funding the thing that they need to change certain things in order to get the movie out there. So I'm like, okay, understandable. But when some stuff is deliberately mixed up for propaganda purposes, I'm disgusted. And it's not just about getting the movie out there, it's about misleading the public and shaping public opinion and or not giving a damn about folks and the influence that a movie is going to have on people. So, very important things. Uh, I don't know who made this movie, but the Gremlins movies. Well, I'm gonna focus on yeah, the Gremlin movie, where there was Gizmo and there was all them freaking gremlins. I feel like a tragic bit of propaganda, a little bit might be that there's one one fuzzy gizmo and all them freaking gremlins that just seem to proliferate like rapidly. Seem like just about nothing, and there's another gremlin. There's another bunch of gremlins over and over and over, just so fast. There's so many of them, and they're monsters. And one good little gizmo. I feel like that's a bit problematic. Especially because also the gremlins came from the gizmo. So this is tragedy. I'm just like, oh man, oh man, why'd you have to make it like this? Like, what do you expect people to think from this? That good makes evil, and evil makes more evil. Why couldn't you show it like maybe rolling the dice? Sometimes when Gizmo gets wet or what what was the thing? Him eating after midnight. Like what was the thing? At any rate, like how about sometimes Gizmo makes another Gizmo, and other times uh, it's a gremlin. And why couldn't there have been two gizmos together or a little group of gizmo friends instead of just one fuzzy one? How about some of them gremlins be furry and mean? You can't even tell that they're a gremlin. But, yeah, movie making. Rough stuff. Now I'm thinking of Frozen. Elsa and Anna were sisters. But Elsa is Ice Queen. Like, she has just born with this freezing power, and Anna has none. Her power is that she trusts every damn buddy. uh, how come Anna couldn't have the opposite? How about she shoots fire? How about fire and ice? She had red hair, reddish hair. Why not? It was brownish. At any rate, um, why is it like there's the powers and the non-powers people? How about there's all powers, but they're just different? Like, oh, I'm like, we finally got one with Encanto. Everyone in the family could do something. They thought that one chickadee couldn't do anything, but her power was bringing the folks together. And that's a powerful thing because Bruno had been banished to the rats. We don't talk about Bruno. Bruno wasn't trying to cause no trouble, which was great that he got to tell his side of the story. Bruno's expressing that what I did was tell people what I saw. And like all the conniptions that people have, the conniptions are their own. I don't want people to have conniptions. I was just saying what I saw. And as a consequence for that, he developed not only an issue in not wanting to use his own special ability, but also a paranoia for everything because he really didn't want to see no bad news. Didn't want people's bad reactions to it. So it's just like, well, I'll just hang out with the rats. The rats are pretty pleasant. Anyway, this feels like this feels like it's gone off into the winds. What was the main thing that I was saying here? Gods, who your God is, and if you can accept and still be a believer when so many are comfortable with an abstract concept of a god or goddess. Like these are principles. It's not a person. It's just principles. Or a god or goddess that is somewhere else in another realm or just a lot of distance from you. What if who you've been talking to is closer than you think? Like, could you accept? Could you accept if you were looking at him? Could you accept and still and not be so challenging where they gotta flex on you? Or is the flexing necessary? Show me what you're working with. Is it necessary? And uh, I think I think that is not just that like, oh, it's necessary, like the human condition requires the provification. It's um it's also that it's a natural way of being, just like, oh, like if someone was like, prove you're a human by, like, because humans need to breathe, like, are you breathing? Well, you're not gonna be able to just like stop breathing for hours or something to be like, not human, 1 2 3, I don't. No, you're going to keep breathing. So that would be showing. So the God powers, the things that are just done as part of existence, are just part of activity. And some things don't register to humans, just like we don't see the entire light spectrum. Like we don't see everything. We only see what we can see with our physical eyeballs. But some people see more than other people. So there's a, and sometimes it's like they're seeing what doesn't even want to be seen necessarily, because we think, oh, if somebody's seen, if a bunch of people have seen, let's say some ghosts, a bunch of people have seen some ghosts in a certain area and whatnot, it's just like, oh, the ghosts want to be seen. Okay, it could be that they want to be seen, or it could be that there's a certain density, certain frequency to that area. And so even if they didn't want to be seen, not necessarily trying to be seen, it's just like 1 2 3, you're going to be visible because of the frequency there. But people with the eyeballs to see can see any, like, see whoever is there, whether they want to be seen or not. If they're present, they're visible. And so that's a thing. I love that we live in times where people that are hunters, I don't like that, ghost hunters. I don't like that expression so much. But I'll freaking use the term to look somebody up, to look something up, dag nabbit. I'll move with the times. But we live in a time where there's equipment where they can see some form, so they might not be able to see with their eyeballs, but they can look at the equipment and it's just like, oh my goodness, that's a form of a person. Ah, oh my God, there's a form of a person over there in the room. I don't see a person over there, but there's a form of a person on the screen. Can't argue with certain things. Unless you want to just say the thing is broken, the doodad doesn't work. But you know that the doodad works. That's like, say, like, all of a sudden, like, oh, if you know that your refrigerator is plugged in and it is a refrigerator, like that is what the device is called, it's plugged in, it's quote unquote working, but there's one item in the fridge that is hot. What does that mean? What is it? Very superstitious. Um. Anyway, you could say now you've hallucinated the situation, or you could say there's something strange going on. I say, at what point do you stop calling yourself crazy or calling other people crazy and start saying there's something going on? And once you get past something, like mind blown, okay, there's something going on. Once you get past that, then it's time to be like, okay, what is it? Like, I get bored with something. I'm like, I'm ready to know what. And so when I'm told some stuff and I'm shown over and over, like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm tired of arguing. I'm tired. Not gonna argue anymore. So there's some major stuff happening on the planet. America is not a bad place to be to witness said happenstance. I'd say you've won the earthly lotto by being in America at this point in time in history, especially. But to be on the planet at all, congratulations. No matter where you are, congratulations. All right, this is almost an hour, so I'm gonna call it. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. I'm sending lots of love your way, many blessings on your journey, and I'll see you in the next one.